Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning has been on the Milwaukee Youth Council, a powerful and diverse group of young leaders committed to making a difference in the city of Milwaukee. They work on issues important to young people. They talk to their peers, family, and neighbors about their concerns, and they take action to address them. I'm being joined by Kalan Hayward II, who represents Milwaukee's District 6. He's here today giving us some insight on what it is the young people do within the Youth Council. Welcome back, Kalan.
Thank you. Welcome.
And I am told that you've made a visit to the nation's capital and visited the White House. So you have to tell us about that.
Okay, so the Youth Council takes an annual trip to the National League of Cities Conference.
Okay.
So that's when a whole bunch of youth delegates and politicians that are adults, mayors, alderpersons, councilpersons, they all gather in D.C. for a conference. In this conference, we debate certain things and try to come up with solutions for our cities. While there, I got a chance to actually visit the White House for a private White House meeting. That meeting is about our transportation systems in our city. But I feel that it was a very good learning experience. Each meeting, it broke into 4. I got into one of the 4 groups, and it had the three White House secretaries in there to listen to us. And they took notes and they gave us feedback, and we got some work done. While there, I was in the White House. So, I'm not just going to sit in the room for a meeting. I got kind of anxious, so I went to the bathroom. I was on the phone with my dad, and I walked out. I was like, Dad, I'm in the White House. I'll call you back. So I started walking up and down the hallway. I didn't want to walk too far. I didn't want to get in trouble or anything.
Right.
But I just walked up and down the hall thinking like, wow, I'm really here. Looking at the art, and I just enjoyed the scenery,
Yeah, one of my best friends is a lobbyist, and she invited me to go to a White House Christmas party with her some years back. And did you get one of those thick hand towels they have in the bathroom that had the White House emblem?
No.
Everybody takes those. So I still have mine. I put it in plastic so that it wouldn't kind of deteriorate. But yeah, next time you go, because I think there will be a next time for you, yes, make sure you grab one of those as a souvenir, okay? So I think that everything that you've talked about is just wonderful to know that there are young people out there who are really interested at an early age in making a difference. And you talked about older people and the mayor and everybody gathering there in D.C. And I did mention earlier in the show that it was 2nd District Alderman Joe Davis Sr. who came up with the concept of the Youth Council 10 years ago. And the alderman has been on the show several times, and we've got some old footage of him actually talking about developing the Youth Council and why it was so important for him. Let's take a look.
Well, young people here in Milwaukee are just strictly amazing to me. And I'll tell you, if you engage them, and if you understand the environment in which they're growing up in, especially here in the city of Milwaukee, you will find out that there is a lot of great kids that are going through a lot of adverse conditions. But if you give them an opportunity to govern, you will find out that they come up with some very compelling arguments on things that they can advocate for themselves and for their generation. So the interesting thing we've done with the City of Milwaukee Youth Council is 10% of our reprogramming funds that we get from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, they get an opportunity to allocate it. So this year, it was well over $150,000 that they were able to allocate towards youth issues. And I think that's where we have an opportunity to build capacity in the next generation of leaders. And so we're excited about it. Kids are excited about it, and if they, in every local elected official's tenure, you want to put a stamp on something that you feel proud of, and that's one of the pieces of legislation that I'm very most proud of.
I thought it was an outstanding idea, and it's got to be pretty special for the students who, I should mention, represent different high schools all over the city and surrounding areas, and they pretty much are sitting at the desk of the aldermen and women, and they get an opportunity to really see if that's something they want to do in the future, and you're helping them paved that pathway. So great job.
It's a humbling experience, but it's also, being an elder of the community, you have that Papa Bear kind of attitude towards it. So it's just, and I can't say that I did it on my own. I have some colleagues and also the mayor who support this wholeheartedly. So I mean, this is what government is really all about.
Yeah, and you're currently looking for young people to serve on the council, and I believe we do have your recruitment tape on hand, so let's take a look at it.
Hello, I'm Alderman Joe Davis. We are looking for passionate, talented young adults who are driven to making a difference in their community. The City of Milwaukee's Youth Council is seeking new members. If you are a high school age young adult, I encourage you to apply. This is a great way to take on a leadership role and make a difference in your community. It takes just a few hours a month, and you will find it a rewarding experience. You can apply online right now at this web address. If you know someone who would be a good fit for this experience, encourage them to apply. Tomorrow's leaders don't have to wait. They can start shaping their community today.
All right, that's Alderman Davis. And so you did say that you've had a chance to work one-on-one with your alderwoman, which is Malele Coggs. Do you get to work with the other aldermen and the mayor as well?
Yes, I actually got a chance in D.C. Since several of the alder people were there, I got a chance to work with Alderman Davis and Alderman Wade, Alderman Stamper, Alderman Hamilton. I got a chance to talk to them, sit down, got a chance to just debate ideas and things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you have worked with some huge names right here in our community. You feel like you are ready to go to college and just take life by the horns and do your thing?
Yes.
You're ready.
Yes.
I can tell you are ready. And with you meeting with the leaders here in the city, the Youth Council also has an opportunity to meet with people like the MPS superintendent, which makes a lot of sense because you guys are in the school system and you're able to kind of communicate on what the young people are doing and thinking. And kind of having a conversation based off of that. So recently there was a meeting with the new superintendent. Tell us about that.
We met with Dr. Driver, and she came to give us a briefing on what was going on in MPS, talk about how they're hosting listening sessions to get the voice of their stakeholders, and she gave us an insight on what she was doing, what her vision and plan was.
Mm-hmm. And what was part of her vision and plan, if you remember?
I asked a question because I do go to MPS school, and when I started high school last year, they had an opportunity for us people to join the MPS Student Advisory Council. Mm-hmm. So it's a group of students who advise the superintendent. That was the thing with the previous superintendent, Dr. Thornton, mm-hmm. but since Dr. Thornton was leaving and Dr. Driver was coming in, it didn't really pick up. So my main concern was not only getting the youth council's voice, but getting those inside of the school's voice. So I asked her about that, and she said she did plan to pick that up. So she sounds like she's really trying to get the voice of people who she's actually working for and representing. So she wants the parents' voice, the students' voice, and by having the advisory council, it gives her a chance to see how students are affected in the schools. Good
stuff. And violence in our city is a huge concern, and it's actually a concern in many cities across the country. There's this new initiative called the MKE Peace Project, and it's challenging youth in the central city to actually come up with a solution for their particular concern when it comes to violence. So what role is the Youth Council playing with the MKE Peace Project?
Before I get to the role, I like to say something about the project. Usually you think that when these programs come about, they're just for show. I've been told this by many youth that I've talked to about the MKE Peace Project, that they actually, what's the point? Nothing's gonna happen, I'm just gonna do this, big whoop, they're doing it just so they can say they're listening to us. But this time I believe it'll be different, partially because I have something to do with it. What the Youth Council role the role the Youth Council plays is all of the entries that we get comes to the Youth Council, and the Youth Council actually has a scale and rubric on how they are judged. We feel that every entry is valued, but we pick the ones that we feel that will most affect the larger amount of the community. So we pick the top ones that we think that can be, for one, that we can change on a government level, and for two, that play the biggest role in our community.
Okay.
We take those, and we refer them to the Common Council. Now, the Common Council will try to actually make something happen by passing legislation. I also would like to actually, the ones that the Common Council don't pick, I would like for the Youth Council to take those and try to do something as well.
Okay. I keep saying okay because I am really impressed with just your drive in making a difference because, like you said, a lot of young people are like, yeah, they're going to listen to us, right? But I think that with some of the things that we've witnessed in our communities across the city, we are at the point where we need to start listening to the young people because these are the ones who are being affected. These are the ones who in many cases are committing the crimes for different reasons, and we need to have a better understanding of why things are taking place. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes. About 3 months ago, the Youth Council also hosted a community forum at your high school.
Yes.
So what came from that?
That forum was, it had a lot of Youth Council support. Most of the Youth Council showed up, which was very good. But I believe 3 youth showed up.
Wow.
So we were we weren't the happiest about that.
A little disappointed, yeah.
But I feel like it's our role now to understand why they didn't, analyze why they didn't come.
Mm-hmm.
Did we not get it out there enough? Did they not know about it? Because I do know that when I bring the Youth Council up to most of my friends and peers around me, they're like, what is the Youth Council? So not only do they not know what the Youth Council is, well, they don't know they have an opportunity to actually be represented and express their voice on the government level. So youth didn't show up, so we couldn't get much done. We hope to have one in the upcoming months, and hopefully have more youth there to actually play a role in what we're doing.
Yeah, and hopefully there are more parents who are up watching this show. They'll be exposed to the existence of the Youth Council and pass that word along to their young people. So I'm very proud of you, and I just wish you continued success. And I kind of have this this saying from Oprah. She says, your future is so bright it burns my eyes. I am excited to see what you end up doing. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And continued success. Kalan Hayward II is a student at Rufus King High School representing the 6th District in Milwaukee's Youth Council. And we're also going to give you information. Remember to log on to milwaukee.gov/Youth Council or call 414-286-2221 for more details. That's going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. As always, thank you for watching, and I do hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues, Milwaukee. Have a great day.